Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is a story about what if Naruto becomes god of destruction in chunin exams. Before I start, please support for more amazing content and do consider subscribing to my channel and share this video with your friends. This is written by EMS-Dash and link in the description and support writer. Let's start the video. Daddy look. Came the voice of a small girl of about 7. This was Mito Uzumaki Namikaze, the daughter of the 4th Hokage Minato Namikaze and Kushina Uzumaki, also known as the Red Death. She was about 3 feet tall, had her father's blonde hair, which reached up to her waist, and her mother's vibrant blue eyes. She looks the same as the normal Naruto, but she's 7 and doesn't have pigtails. She was standing with her right hand outstretched and was smiling as widely as her mouth would allow her. On her hand was a small tornado spinning at the center of her palm. Her father then bent down in front of her, grinned, and then patted her on the head while saying, "Good job, honey. You're going to be the best kunoichi ever. You might even become better than your mother. I couldn't agree with you more, Minato. She will make an amazing kunoichi." Mito's mother said while beaming at the young girl, who then grinned and locked both of her parents in a tight hug, which they returned happily before they started to tickle Mito, making her erupt into a fit of giggles. If anyone was to stumble upon this scene, they would see a beautiful family moment between a mother, father and their daughter, but if that person happened to look towards the tree opposite the family, they would see a boy who was the same age as Mito and was the spitting image of Minato, minus the sideburns. His name was Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze and he was the twin brother of Mito. He was simply leaning against the tree and watching his family. During a pause between Mito's giggles, she noticed her brother watching them and stuck her tongue out at him before returning to her giggles. Naruto simply walked back into the house with a sad face as he walked up the stairs to his room, where he closed the door, then closed his eyes to take a quick nap. You see, 7 years ago, when the fearsome Kyuubi's no Yoko had attacked, the Yondaime Hokage Minato Namikaze had found a way to seal the beast away into a human body, or to be more specific, the body of an infant. As for anyone older, their chakra would already be fully formed, so their body would reject the creature's chakra and would destroy them while releasing the beast. There were only 2 infants born that night and much to Minato's dismay, they were his twin son and daughter. After his wife tried to kill him for taking their children, he took both Naruto and Minato to the ceiling so that if anything went wrong, he could put Kyuubi's in Naruto, but he would rather seal the Kyuubi into a female, as it was said that the beast was female. The sealing had gone perfectly, but when the Shinigami spoke, it said something that genuinely shocked Minato. 7 years ago. Are you ready to die? The Shinigami asked in its emotionless voice. Minato had known that the price of summoning the Shinigami was your own life, and he had been sure that when the moment came he would show no fear. But standing here with his children in his arms, he didn't want to die. So he looked up at the Shinigami and shouted, "Of course I'm not ready. I just had 2 children and sealed a demon inside of one of them. I want to see them grow up. I want to see their mother again. So no, I'm not ready to die." The Shinigami simply stared at him with a blank face before saying fine. Minato was so dumbstruck that he could barely speak. When he compassed himself, he managed to utter out the word what. The price of using this sealing is your life. So no matter what, you will eventually die and I will get your soul. It may take years, but I am patient and there are plenty of other souls that need to be collected," said the Shinigami before it disappeared in a flash of purple light. Minato just stared at the space where the Shinigami had been and said what? Present day. After that fateful day, the village of Konoha saw Mito as a great hero that was stopping the demon fox from killing them all, while people seemed to forget that Naruto existed. Their parents had decided to start training Mito a year ago so that she would be able to control the 9 tails chakra, but when Naruto asked if they could train him, they would always say that they didn't have time because they had to train Mito. Even though his parents wouldn't train him, that didn't mean that he was going to lie around and do nothing until the academy started. In fact, he did quite the opposite. Whenever Naruto was training, he would go into the family library and read everything about ninja that he could find and practicing some of the easier things such as taijutsu stances and basic chakra control exercises such as tree climbing, and he had recently mastered water walking. So one day after training he had come home and saw his sister training with his parents, so he decided to sit by the tree and watch. That's when the happy moment had happened and Naruto went up to his room to sleep. Unknown to him, he would be in for a big surprise within his dreams. Naruto's mindscape. When Naruto woke up, the first thing he noticed was that he wasn't lying down in his room, but was standing in the middle of a gigantic room with a single figure in the middle floating in the air. Look over it and saw a thin, purple cat-like humanoid with large pointed ears, similar to Cornish rex and Sphinx cats. He dons black, blue, and gold Egyptian-looking attire with the white and orange diamond decorations. DBZ Beerus. Naruto slowing walked toward the cat like being, poking it with a stick he got out of nowhere. Hi, wake up. Naruto said softly, giving him a few light pokes to his. After poking him for so long, the man opened his eyes and grabbed the stick from Naruto and destroy it with coving his arms in a purple aura. What do you want? Why wait, who are you? The cat looked at Naruto with narrow eyes. Naruto moved back in shock from the man performance. I am Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, what is your name, sir? I am known as the god of destruction, but you may call me Beerus Brat. The now named Beerus said to Naruto, who was looking like he saw a ghost. Your god? Yeah, Brat, got a problem with that. My name is Naruto, not Brat. Whatever you say, Brat. Now where am I? Beerus said, not looking around the huge room they are in. Naruto just looked at the god being and shrugged his shoulders. I don't know myself, I went to sleep and found myself here. Naruto reply confessed, hearing that Beerus float over to Naruto and place his hand on Naruto's head. Moments later he let go and frowned deeply at what he saw. I see you is neglecting by your parents for you, sister, am I correct? The god of destruction mentioned to Naruto, looking at him at shock, sending a how did you know look to him. Beerus laughed loud and said, after thinking about it, I can only come to the fact that we are in your mind and I am somehow sealed inside you. So since I am going to be here for a while until I find a way out, I might as well help you out. What do you mean? I've seen the way that your family ignore you and the way that you train yourself. Really? You'll train me? Naruto shouted happily. But I have to warn you about something that will cause you to rethink this. Beerus said, looking into Naruto's eyes. Naruto looked at his, tilting his head. What is it, Beerus sensei? Where I am from there was 12 beings, each just as strong as I am. We are called gods of destruction. We are beings who destroy planets, as opposed to the supreme case who are the gods of creation, who create and fill planets with life in order to maintain the balance of the universe. And with me being here will put you at risk of being targeted by he or she I forgot who rule this universe. Are you still up for it? Naruto sat down thinking about the choose he have, can't say no and leave on as a shadow in his parents' shoes, while Mito leave him behind and because greater too. Become stronger than everyone in the world and fight a being that can kill him any second in his life. Naruto, the god of destruction, nice ring to it, don't you think? Naruto said, laughing a little, standing up with pure joy in his eye. If he do come after me, I will just have to destroy him, right? Beerus just start laughing himself and thought one thing. Oh my, I think I just made another me. But anyways, but to the story. 5 years later. It's been 6 years now ever since Naruto met Beerus and start to train under him. He was now 12 years old. Currently he's wearing a black tank top with white pants. He had his arm wrapped in black bandages from his fingers to his shoulders. He was a wear simple black combat shoe to match with his tank top and bandages. He was currently training to find a way to get more powerful with the village, knowing his family still ignores him and his sister weren't helping either. She, like their parents, also ignores him as if he hadn't existed at all. Even if he doesn't care about it anymore, it still pissed him off a little, but not enough to get in his mind. He is heading to the academy for the team placement since he was allowed by his parents to take the genin test early and he passed with ease, of course. Alright class, settle down. Before I tell who your team members are, I would like to say Naruto ignored the rest of his speech as it was completely meaningless. He slowly looked toward window and watched the cloud bypass him while he waits for his name to be called. Naruto eyes with wide, thinking about something he forgot about. Mostly he don't even care. I am genin so quick. Naruto thought about it's a change that Minato may do something to make him not pass, but his thoughts was cut short from his name being called. Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, Ryu Hyuga and Midori Uchiha, and your sensei will be Shisui Uchiha. Haruka noticed that everyone had a shocked look to them hearing that both the Hyuga and Uchiha will be on the same team, but Naruto just watch on with a curious glance. This seemed fun. I am being taught by the Shisui of the body flicker with the power of 2 major clans. It was then that the doors burst open, revealing a man who had short, unkempt, dark-colored hair and a relatively broad nose and well-defined eyelashes that returns upwards at each end. He wore the standard attire of the Uchiha clan, which includes a high-collared, dark-colored outfit along with a tantrum strapped to the right side of the back of his shoulder. He also wore what appeared to be a harness for his tantrum that ran across his chest and fastened over both his shoulders. Alright Naruto, please walk with me. After speaking, he stand at the door watching as Naruto quickly walked toward him. Shisui didn't say a word, he just walked up and grabbed Naruto's shoulder. He reached his hand, hang on tight. Were the only words he said before they both vanished. There he appeared at training ground 7 only a moment later. Naruto took a second to look around to find 2 people in the man clashing heads to heads at each other. Alright you 3, why don't you sit down on those tree stumps so that we can begin introductions. I'd like to know things, your names, likes and dislikes, hobbies, dreams, and the area of shinobi arts that you specialize in or want to specialize in. Why don't I go first to give you an example? Shisui stated. My name is Uchiha Shisui. I suppose I like to hang out with my friends and train my hobbies. I enjoy reading. My current dream is to lead a successful genin team that will not meet the same fate that mine did. I specialize in body flicker technique and fire ninjutsu. The black hair girl wearing a white shirt with B cup and black pants with the Uchiha symbol on her back chose to go next. I'm Uchiha Midori. I like dango and fire. I hate people who disrespect the Uchiha name. My hobbies are working on fire ninjutsu and learning about Sharingan. My dream is to become an Anbu captain. I specialize in my clan's fire style. I guess I'm up. My name is Ryu Hyuga. Anyway, my hobbies are training and learning new jutsu. My dreams. I guess my dreams are to make sure that my family is the strongest in the Leaf Village. Ryu got cut off by the quick laugh by Midori, as got a sweat drop by Naruto and Shisui. Ryu ignored it and went on well as to maybe start a family someday. I specialize in my clan justice. Everybody's gazes then shifted to Naruto, who was sitting on the middle stump with his eyes closed. I guess it's my turn then. My name is Naruto. I like putting and blowing things up. I dislike far too much to count. My hobbies include training and sleeping. My dreams, I want to become the god of destruction. As for my specialties, I specialize in my bloodline Kalkai control and Taijutsu. Much of the rest of the team was shocked at what his dreams were. Shisui was beyond shock knowing that Naruto got a bloodline. Shisui clapped his hands together, suddenly in a cheerful attitude. Okay, now that introductions are over and I know you all a little bit better, something that may seem rude thing to do. Ryu was confused. Sensei, what is it? Shisui could only chuckle, the forethought of new genin test to do. Really? Ryu and Midori's eyes both widened. Naruto sat there thinking about what his sensei just said. It must be something weird about this. To impress me, I will take them as an apprentice. Their sensei reached into his pocket and pulled a timer and placed it on top of one of the wood stumps. Here is what this test is all about. Whoever impress me, I will take them my apprentice. Shisui replied with a smile on his face, walking 10 feet away from the genin to be. Midori looked at her sensei as disbelieved. Shisui sensei, don't worry, I will show you the power of Uchiha and put these useless clans in their place. Midori yelled across the training ground. Getting an angry glare from Ryu, who quickly replied back to her insult. If anyone don't know their place, it would be Uchiha. Ryu said with anger linked to his voice, butting heads with her. They broke apart second later with a yawn from their teammate, who was standing up rubbing his nose softly. So if I impress you, I can leave these two clown behind, right? Naruto said, slowing walking towards Shisui with his hands behind his back with a grin easing on his face. Shisui got his guard up at Naruto words. Though the two in the back with now point their killer intent at Naruto, who was unfazed by it. Naruto and Shisui stood there looking at each other with no emotions on their face. Shisui was the first to start. He threw 2 kunai at Naruto, who had dodged them. Shisui had put his hand into the ram sign and has started channeling his chakra. Naruto was preparing to rush in and hit him with a simple Kai blast to end it. However, he felt a presence behind her. And she moved out of the way quick enough to avoid being hit with the fist Shisui thrown at him. What? Is this a power of a Jonin? He shouted in his mind. Naruto rushed towards Shisui and started his assault. He started with kicks aimed at his legs and midsection. Shisui quickly blocked and dodged them and started to return his attacks. Naruto, still using kicks, aimed for his head. Shisui, expecting it from his Sharingan, stopped back from his length of Naruto leg and dashed forward, hitting Naruto in the chest. Naruto started gathering his Kai, which in turn powered up his body, leaving him in a purple type aura. Now I am anger. Shisui felt Naruto punches were becoming stronger as the purple glow surrounded his body. He knew he had to end this quick before this fight get out of hand. He jumped back and starts to go through some hands, signs fire style Phoenix Fire Justice. Naruto was surprised at the fireball coming toward him but was cut short by a voice behind him. Fireball Jutsu. A girl voice rang out with a normal size fireball candle out the Phoenix Fire. Naruto looked to the side to see Midori coming beside him with a small smirk on her face. I would never think you would be that strong. How about we work as a team to get past this test? Naruto smiled and nodded, got up and got into a stance while Midori followed that suit. Shisui smiled at the result he sees in front of him before he could begin again. Naruto and Midori start dashing at the same time. Naruto with the power of his Kai got there first and start pull out a kunai while Shisui draw his ten to meet Naruto kunai. Midori then appear above Naruto and did a roundhouse kick that flew over Naruto head and made Shisui push back away from them. Naruto looked at Midori and motioned her to go forward him. Getting the hint, Midori dashed at Shisui and went into a taijutsu match with him. Naruto then start to power up, making his once aura spike out, flowing wildly around him, pushing back a frozen Hyuga who had his Bakugan on watching Naruto. This power is amazing, this not even chakra, but a different source of power. I must tell Hiashi-sama about this. Watching from the far, Naruto with speed akin to that of an Anbu captain, see towards Shisui and Midori who was fighting it out, they both lashed out a concussive sound, echoing from the impact of their fists meeting Shisui. Shisui quickly dropped smoke bombs that cover the field, giving him a chance to escape back from the two. Shisui unleashes a volley of shuriken with one hand and at the same time, exhales fire-infused chakra onto them. Seeing the trail of shuriken toward the two who saw something glowing coming at them. Naruto extends his index finger having a pink glow into his index before firing out a row of beams that clash with the shurikens. Naruto and Midori quickly ran out the arena of the smoke to find Clover, but they stopped when they heard the timer with off. As the two wore out Genin made there to the post with the timer they saw Ryu, who was sitting there with a sad face talking to Shisui. Shisui turned around and smiled at the two, then clapped his hands. Okay, I see a great promise today and I would like to say, you two pass with A+, but Ryu, since you can't get over the fact of working as a team and stood there and watch as the two of them front me, I sorry, but I am sending you back to the academy. Shisui said with a frown on his face. Ryu got up with an angry look on his face and start to walk away. This is not over Uchiha and Uzumaki. But that he disappeared. Okay Naruto and Midori, this may seem weird since you guys will be the first ever team in the Leaf history to only be a squad of two where there is only two genin. So I wish to see great promise out of you too. So, tomorrow. Meet back here at 8 AM sharp, and with that, Shisui disappeared using the Shunshin no Jutsu. After their sensei left, Midori and Naruto gave each other a glance. Since this is the first team they ever worked together. Naruto walked closer to her and handed his right hand out to her. Midori, I know that we're not best friends or friends at all, how about we go out and get to know each other? Naruto asked, hoping he can get along with her. Midori smiled at Naruto, making him blush a little. Are you asking me on a date, Naruto-kun? She said with a smirk on her face, laughing at the blush Naruto is getting. A note. Just in case people don't read the note in the beginning, Naruto will date a few girl before he get that one girl he likes, sure, since it look like we going to be together until the chunin exam it seems. Scene change, Hokage's tower. A few hours after the final genin exams were concluded, Minato as well as the jonin who proctored the exams were discussing the results of the tests. Well, how did the genin perform on their tests, everyone? Getting mixed responses from the jonin, Minato decided to call them in order of team number to give their reports. Most of them were able to pass, but a few failed due to conflicts within the team, which caused them to fail in working as a team. Team 8 failed, they don't show any promise, Kurenai reported, confident that she will get a strong team in the future. Team 9 passes, Minato-sama, Niji and Lee show great power into jutsu, and Tenten amaze me with her power of youth. Team 12 passes Hokage-sama. They were pretty good for a couple of rookies. Midori and Naruto managed to bind me for a few seconds with their teamwork. Though I chose to remove Ryu from the team. At that statement, everyone's attention was focused on Shisui. Minato's eyes widened by his statement and asked if he could continue, which he did. Well, when we started, Midori show began to taunt her teammates about her being a Uchiha, making her and Ryu get into a fight. Naruto, who ignored her, then challenged me to a fight, which surprised me of his power he hold. After the quick spar match we had, I launched my Phoenix Fire Jutsu at Naruto, which then is where Midori came in and formed an alliance with Naruto, which both of them begin to attack me together with great speed. At the end of his report, everyone in the room quieted. Minato dismissed everyone in the room but Shisui. Hearing about what his son did, Minato knew that he had to get to the bottom of that mystery when he got back home. Before he could ask for me info, he felt someone enter the room from the window. Jiraiya, what are you doing here? Asked Minato while he was approving the request. It seems like I could never hide from you, said Jiraiya. I ask you again, why are you here? I assumed you were peeping on women like you always do. Actually, the toad summoned me and told me about a prophecy. Prophecy from the toads? Asked Minato, shocked. Jiraiya nodded in confirmation. What was it about? It said that the chosen one is the child born from two great shinobi and holds great power. He or she who get the name destruction will soon rise up to become something lost for years. I don't know who it's talking about, but it has to be Mito. Minato nodded slowly, then realization came him and he smiled. Shisui coughed into his hand, getting the attentions of the two. Sir, if I may, when I was with my team, Naruto said his dream is to become the god of destruction. Minato and Jiraiya both froze at the words he said to them. Anything else, he said. Minato quickly rose up with shock written on his face. Shisui nodded to the Hokage and said he also said he got a bloodline called Kai. Right there, Minato and Jiraiya dropped to the ground with shock. Boy, Naruto about to be forgotten no longer. After spending time with his new teammate, Naruto headed his home. He hurried into his room without his mother knowing and went to sleep. Naruto woke up in his minset and saw Beerus floating in the air eating some pudding without a care in the world. Naruto started to walk toward him at a slow pace, hoping to sneak up on him. You know Naruto, I love being here, I can sleep and eat as much pudding as I like and no one can stop me, ha 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 ha. Beerus' reply making Naruto sweat drop of being noticed with getting that far from him. Beerus quickly finished his cup of pudding and stared at Naruto with a happy smile. Let's begin training, saw we, and if you show promise I will teach you a new move. Hi Lord Beerus, but what will today training is? Beerus snapped his fingers making the room turn into a wasteland, with 4 being in armor suit appear with a grin on their face. Survive. Beerus disappear after saying that. The pack of 4 armored-dressed aliens casually walk toward Naruto with their kai raising around them, one of them push a button on his scouter and laugh. So pathetic. His power level is not that even high. One of Frieza's soldiers asked rhetorically towards his squad friend. Well, you guys' power level must be smaller than my then. Naruto said, standing with pride with a huge smirk on his face. Shut up. One of the aliens yelled, his hand shooting in kai blast, but Naruto jumped back just in time to dodge it. Look here, boys, look like he got some moves, one of the alien thugs taunted again. Don't you mean, weakling? Another soldier said with mockery. The young fighter clenched his hands, his teeth grinding and his purple aura combusting around his body. The kai swelled up, the enemy scouters beeping madly. What did the apparent leader, a red-skinned alien with horns in his head, stammered the numbers in display going up non-stopping 10,000 11 12. The next number was cut short when Naruto's lightning-fast front punch to the alien's ugly face made his entire skull exploded in a shower of gore from the sheer might behind the strike. The other elites had been too smacked to realize that now some of their friends' brain matter now besmirched their battle armors. The new reeking smell would be disgusting to normal noses, but everyone was just shocked into a deep stupor to realize that little fact. One of the elites finally reacted. He was purple-skinned with a black and white armor. His hand shot up and fired a deadly blue beam. The angry human set his sight into his new victim, his fist punching the blast back to its place of origin like a casual fly. The elite idiot took his own blast head-on and flew backwards head over heels. Naruto rocketed towards him, the ground beneath him shaking slightly by his takeoff. His body started spinning and gained a lethal amount of momentum. The weak elite fighter had no chance to fight back when the deadly roundhouse bifurcated him right in his waist section without making a noise. Gushes of purple liquid spurted away from the halves. The remaining 2 soldiers had their eyes popping out of their sockets. They foolishly tried to escape by normal running. Naruto would have shaken his head by the stupid antics, but he was angry beyond words. His left hand rose, a purple light shining bright and aiming forward. The energy wave washed over the place engulfing the soldiers in full. Their organic particles evaporated down into nothing more but more ashes over the scorched area. Naruto was about to relax but stopped when he heard heavy footstep come walking near him. Naruto turned his head to see overweight, pink, and round alien warrior with protruding spikes on his arms and head. He also wears the common battle armor including the shoulder pads and a green scouter. If you don't know, it's Dodoria. Who the hell is this? Naruto said, backing away, gathering energy in his hand. Beerus reappear in front of Naruto with a smile on his face. This is Frieza left-hand man Dodoria, since those 4 was not a challenge for you, I want to see how you handle him, farewell. Naruto saw how Beerus left again and only shook his head before looking at Dodoria. The dark orange sphere instantly shining in Dodoria hand when he shot it forward, the orange blast covered everything at you, Naruto's eyes widening by the sheer incoming speed of the blast. For someone so fat, Dodoria was obviously no weakling. The kai swallowed Naruto's body, the plumes of smoke kicking up and caving a long trench in its path of destruction. After the smoke vanished from the place, Naruto was incredibly still standing his ground, his forearms in front of him X-crossed. His tank top was gone, and his muscled body was covered in deep blood-oozing wounds and cuts. The neglected son panted, saving that move he just unleashed. Naruto flew as fast as he could toward who Dodoria was still a bit disorientated by the sudden punch he got and was on his hand and knees. Naruto landed a few meters away from Buu. And started to walk toward Dodoria but stopped when Dodoria stood up and launched him at him, throwing punches everywhere that Dodoria easily deflected and he himself was throwing his own punches. They both step back and start to blast kai blasts at each other, making a huge smoke of dirt cover the area. Naruto jumped back as Dodoria fist came slamming into the ground where he once stood. On impact, a large shock wave burst out in all directions, causing Naruto to nearly lose his balance. Dodoria shot the Naruto an evil look as he spread out his hand, forcing himself off the ground and in the human's direction. Naruto barely had time to avoid another punch from the charging pink alien, just enough to push it away and give one of his owns. Holding his stomach and spitting out a mouthful of blood, Dodoria took a step back. His eyes filled with pure hate. Naruto spit out some blood and got back into his stances before he could rush and he was woken up from the outside. Naruto woke up by an Anbu who was looking down on him. You are requested to appear in the council. He got dressed and was taken to the council chambers where he met Iruka outside. "Are you ready, Naruto?" asked Iruka. Naruto nodded and Iruka led him into the room to stand in front of the council. Scene. Minato was getting a headache from dealing with the civilian council's daily antics. Here is in Jiraiya who was behind him laughing little from the annoyed Minato. "What is the next order of business?" asked Kaharu. "Wait for it," said Minato. Just then, an Anbu member led Naruto into the room. "Lord Hokage," exclaimed a shop owner named Kaido, "what is son doing here?" The man said looking confused. "Naruto who trained you?" Minato said looking at Naruto with his Hokage face. "I thought you trained him, Hokage-sama." The lazy Nara said leaning on the back table dozing off a little. "Why are you asking?" Naruto said with a smirk on his face that screamed pride. "Think about Vegeta when he was fight second form Cell." "Hi brat, tell him you are being trained by me so we can get back to your training." Naruto heard in his head. Minato starting to leak killer instinct cut Naruto short when he was glare at. "Okay fine, you win Hokage-sama, I was trained myself, I found scrolls about this power and how to get it." Naruto said flexing his power to get his point across, making papers and citizens on their chair to fly out of them. "So what is this bloodline from the Namikaze clan?" asked Danzo. "We think it may." Minato got started but was cut off by Naruto. "This is my chance." "No, this is a bloodline that I can only get," Naruto said with pride roaring through the room. "What?" exclaimed Homura in surprise. "Perhaps the boy can give us a demonstration," said Danzo. Naruto nodded and start to channel, making the purple aura cover his body again, and he raised his hand and blow up the chair he had. People in the room look at Naruto in shock at the power he have in his hands now. "I want to make my own clan for this bloodline if I may," Naruto said standing tall looking at Danzo who made a small smile at Naruto. "I think we should, Minato-sama, this would be a great gain for the Leaf and we can put him on CRA." Minato was about to reject the offer but Naruto looked at him and raised his hand. "With me now being a ninja and an adult, I think I should be able to rule over a ninja clan, so how about a vote?" Many agree with that while the two behind Minato just watch with their eyes looking for any lies and tricks. After a long vote, the idea of having a new clan form was 8-3, with only the Hyuga, Uchihas and Minato saying no. "As clan head, Naruto will be allowed to sit as a part of the Shinobi Council as well," said Minato said, sighing in anger. Many people not okay with that. Here is in now talking after so long. Ask a question, what is the name of this clan? Let me introduce myself, I am Naruto Taokai mean destruction, nice name huh? Maelstrom destruction. That moment was when the world of Charka was pushed into a chain of destruction. I did the two-man team because it's time for something new, don't you guys get tired of the some 3 Genin squad? I need ideas for their first C rank mission, sends me some ideas, hurry so I can get out the new chapter. Okay, third chapter. Time to reply to some comments from chapter 2. Crocodilus, since Beerus has his obsession with all things food, mainly pudding, are you going to have Naruto have that obsession as well or something else entirely? He will have an obsession with pudding. Berater again, great story but just one thing, power level of 12,000 and rising in DBZ was enough to destroy a planet or village easily as Nappa races a city by flexing his fingers and his power was only of 4,000 so yeah. Please put the power level down by quite a lot or give Naruto a reason to hold back because the power to destroy a modern day city or a village is big deal in the Narutoverse. Hey, I will try to put it in the end of the chapter if I remember. So will Naruto have a harem due to the CRA and if so will Midori be in it? Forgot about that, well yes she will, I made her just for it can happen. Radlocks 2, will Naruto get any kind of transformations or will he simply be able to keep rising his base and being able to modify his power level for different enemies? Yes, but only one, it will be like an SSJ god, but with a dash effect to it. Bankai 777, will Naruto meet Shizuka or Samui? Since this is 1 year before Naruto canon, I think I can have him meet Samui at the chunin exams, well Shizuka I think not until the time skip. A new challenger has appeared. Yes, Naruto is neglected for his sister. And I stopped reading there. Man, people's imaginations are so great, aren't they? Well, everyone has his or her own version of Naruto getting neglected. So I am sorry you don't like it, hope to see you in another story I am going to do after I am done with this one. KO. I am going to have Whis come in the month training before the final. It had been a 2 months since Team 11 had been made into a 3-man squad. The 3 of them has been doing D-rank missions almost non-stop since the formation of their team. Even if they had to deal with the cat, it's still easy to them with the Shisui teaching Midori. They had done 42 D-rank missions over the course of the month. Shisui had finally decided to give them time alone to work on skills and teamwork. Over the 2 months Naruto and Midori has been getting too into each other. After training or missions they will hang out together. Today Shisui told the two that he would get their first C rank while they sit here and wait for him to get back. One thing that Shisui realized after the first month that Naruto was far above the level of a genin and didn't need his help quite as much. The genin was as proficient in its use as he was. After that he pretty much left Naruto to his own devices. So he was working with Midori to get her to chunin level. So after sitting at the training ground for the last 30 minutes their sensei finally show up with a smile on his face. They both look at each other confused and look back at him. Okay guys, I got our first C rank mission. Shisui said, looking the two with a sad expression. Naruto look at him and open his mouth. What can the mission be that make you like that, sensei? We will be going to Suna to give a letter to the Kazekage for the upcoming chunin exam. Midori rise up and look at her sensei with anger. Why the hell do we have to do something that easy, can't they just send a bird? Midori was about to keep talking, but Naruto grabbed her shoulder to help calm her down. Midori, be glad that we got such a easy mission to go on. Naruto said, eating a pudding cup that he got out of nowhere. Where the hell you even get that? Midori yelled at Naruto, who had his eyes closed eating the tasteful treat. Shisui just stood there shaking his head at his two genin argument about the mission and Naruto pudding cup it seemed. The mission going to start in 2 hours, so get pack and ready. The two stop and nod their head with Midori quickly heading home to get ready. Shisui got into his hand sign to go, but stopped seeing Naruto with a serious look. What's wrong, Naruto? I have a meeting in 10 minutes about the funds for the academy and other things. Naruto said, looking a little tired lying down on the ground. Maybe you should rest, Naruto, you look a little tired. No, I am okay, sensei, I will be going now. Naruto put 2 fingers on his forehead and vanish. Okay, now that we finished that we must talk about the chunin exams that coming out in 3 months. Kaharu said calmly. The head clan members in the room stayed quiet for the moment. The head clan members consisted of Shitake Nara, Chaozu Akimichi, Tsu Minyazuka, Inoichi Yamanaka, Shibi Aburam, Hiyashi Hyuga, Fugaku Uchiha. Minato sat there listening while looking at Naruto sadly. Naruto was eating another pudding cup but per cup when he heard about the chunin exam. So any teams we should send? Minato asked looking over the room. Naruto stood up licking his lips first. I think we should send my tea. No, you just became a genin only 2 months ago. Minato refused quickly, but Naruto stood his ground. Naruto looked around the room. This is the perfect time to show the another country the power of a new clan and the power of the Uchiha. Naruto said with a grin like a kid in a candy store. Fugaku nodded that and stood up too. I think that's a good idea, don't you think, Nara? It would bring great pride to the village with this chance. Fugaku said loudly, making his voice echo in the room. I see their point here, Hokage-sama. It would show that we have strength in not only numbers but skill. Minato sighed hearing that from 2 of the major clans. Okay, we will send Team 11 to the chunin exams. Naruto, we will treat this an A rank mission. Meeting over, you can all leave. Naruto got out the chair and start to walk toward Fugaku and bow his head. Thanks for backing me up here today, Uchiha-sama. Naruto said with a smile on his face. No problem, this will help the Uchiha and Taukai a lot in the end of the day. Care for a walk while we talk about an alliance with our clans? Naruto looked happy with that and nod to him. Sure, I have another hour before my mission. Naruto lead him out the council room talking about ideas he have to grow his clan and about the Kra. They don't notice Minato and Jiraiya watching them talk. Look like he got the support of the Uchiha now, he will already got his silver tongue as it is. Jiraiya laughed at his own joke, but Minato's still thinking about what he should do. This is no laughing matter, mostly he got the support of the bigger clan in the village, it's going to be hard to get him to bond with the family. Minato said looking anger. Jiraiya sighed and just put up a seal in the room so no one can hear in it. Now that I got the time, I have to tell you something important. What? Have you ever heard of the Akatsuki? 1 hour later at the west gates, I just random, it don't feel like looking up at where sand is at. Waiting at the gate of the west gate was Midori and Shisui, who was starting to wonder where Naruto is right now. Soon they felt the wind pick up with appearing Naruto having a cloak that cover his whole body and a hood on the back. Naruto looked at them and nodded at them. Sorry, I was busy doing something. Shisui nodded at it and ordered them to march forward. Hokage office. Sir, Team 11 just left for their mission. A young man wearing a Wessel mask said in a monotone. He was on one knee in front of Minato, Danzo and Hiruzen. But now you can start your mission. Danzo said with his crane in front of his body with an emotionless face. Yes sir, Wessel said again, trying to keep his voice from showing any signs of sadness. Minato sighed to himself of what he will have to order. Okay. Wessel, your mission is to return to the Uchiha state and kill everyone there, now go. Minato yelled, wave his hand to the side of with an anger face he could make at this moment. 3 days later. Team 11 was almost to the village hidden in the sand, making slow process with all the sand around them. Currently in a pyramid formation with Shisui manned the top, Midori and Naruto on the sides. Shisui was having a conversation with Midori, while Naruto was talking to Lord Beerus about his training. Shisui-sensei, do you expect enemy ninjas on this mission? Midori asked her sensei. Shisui turned his head to Midori and start to explain to her. Generally, a C-rank mission encounters bandits and thieves. If we were to encounter rogue ninjas, then this mission will be upgraded to a B-rank mission. Shisui answered. As they continued walking, Naruto really have a conversation with Lord Beerus right now. Look, I don't care if you train me, but Raymond is the best thing in this world with putting second. Sorry guys, I have to call him Lord Beerus every time it's something I got into doing. Lord Beerus growled at Naruto, but stopped and grinned with an evil smile. Don't worry, I will get you back with training tonight, ha 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 ha. Naruto was now nervous about the laugh and start to sweat a little, praying that he will survive. Naruto start to get jumpy when he felt killer instinct hit his team. Shisui quickly pull out his tent getting ready for a fight, while Midori pull out a kunai and Naruto just charge a kai blast in his hand. Out of nowhere 10 people rush came out the sand with their bodies fully covered with swords in each of their hands. Give us all your money and no one will get hurt. Thug, one said. And leave the girl here too. Thug 2 said with all of his friends laughing around him. Naruto got mad and made a dash toward him. He then punched the man in the chest, making his hand get stuck inside of him. He rips his hand out of him, making the guy gush out blood from his wound he just got. Muto. You bastard, get him. Thug 1 said, now rushing at Naruto with chunin speed. Naruto turn around and throw a low charge kai ball at the, stunning him with great force. Shisui snap out of it, seeing his student fighting, he transported right behind 2 of them, slashing at both of their heads off. Midori with her hand signs and release a great fireball at one of them, burning him alive. She stopped moving, hearing the move cry in pain, causing one of the men to appear behind her, trying to cut her head off. Naruto stop his assault on one of them and dash at Midori. Midori, watch out. Naruto push her out the way, kicking the man in the head, sending him flying. Shisui, who had taken out the rest of them, dash at the 2 genin, checking them over for any injuries. I am glad you guys are safe, but nice jobs on dealing with these bandits. Shisui said with a smile, wiping off his tent to clear the blood on it. Naruto nodded his teacher while Midori looked a little shaken from the screams she heard. Naruto got her back to her feet and they begin on their journey. The cloaked covered Team 11 trekked through the sands of the desert as they walked towards the giant gate of the Sunagaker. The gates were made of massive stone and had 2 chunin guards, similar to what Konoha had stationed at the gate. State your names and purpose for coming to the Sunagaker. One of the chunin said as Shisui took off his hood and showed his Konoha headband. Shisui Uchiha with my genin team to give the Kazuki a letter from the Hokage himself. He said as he handed the letter to them, as they looked it over to see the Hokage seal on it. After a minute of looking, the guards nodded their heads. Okay team, I will drop this off while you guys go visit around Suna, since this is your first time here. Shisui said with a smile on his face. They both nod and both begin to walk away from their sensei. He watched them walk into the crowd of the people and then he disappear himself. With Naruto and Midori, they both check into the hotel, ordering 3 rooms for them. Naruto sit down on the bed thinking about the men he killed. Lord Beerus, did I do the right thing? It was you or him, brat, now come in for training, haha. Naruto start to sweat and lay down on the bed, letting himself fall to sleep with nothing but fear taking him over. Naruto opened his eyes to see himself in a large field full of rocks and a lake behind him. Well then brats, I hope you don't get too hurt. Beerus start floating around with another pudding cup in his hands. Naruto stood there waiting for his opponent to appear in front of him. Then out of nowhere the ground opened up, revealing a strange figure rising up. It's Frieza final form. Naruto laughed at him. Lord Beerus, you should know that I have the power to match Cell's second form if I go all out. Naruto flex his power, blasting away the ground below him. I know I can beat him. Lord Beerus laugh and start to shake his head. Too bad you about to meet a rude awakening, now begin. Naruto and Frieza stood there watching, just waiting for one of them to make the first move. Naruto laughed and got into a charging stance. Well then Frieza, let me show you the power of someone above your level. Naruto looks toward the sky and yelled, letting a bright light engulfs him. Frieza shields his eyes. When the light fades, Naruto is standing there with his legs spread out. Naruto growls, looks like you going to die here again, Frieza. Rocks start to rise from the ground. Mild earthquakes start up. A mountain crumbles. Naruto glances at Frieza. Frieza gets into a battle stance. Frieza chuckles, are we going to start fighting or are you going to act like a hero? Crack. Naruto had rushed forward and cracked Frieza in his big mouth. Frieza stumbles back a couple of steps and clenches his fist. Before Naruto can do a second attack, Frieza comes at Naruto with a right. Naruto ducks, then comes back up to headbutt Frieza in his chin. Frieza does a backflip. He wipes the blood dripping from his bottom lip. He glares at Naruto. Naruto crouches into a battle stance, they both know no words need to be exchanged. Frieza teleports simultaneously as Naruto does. This goes on for roughly 20 min. When they reappear, Naruto is in the air and Frieza is standing below him floating on the water. They both have a couple of scratches on various parts of their body. Frieza laugh, it seem I am going to show you something amazing. Frieza begin to power up, causing the ground to break apart in different areas. Naruto step back, feeling a power forcing Naruto eyes to show nothing but fear. I forgot to tell you about Frieza new transformation. Lord Beerus appear behind Naruto. New transformation. Naruto yelled. Yes, he gained this one when his soldiers brought him back to life. Hearing about Goku beating Buu, he went, and Frieza thought that through 4 months of serious training, he would be able to reach a level of power high enough to wipe out the Saiyans in the blink of an eye. Which he did, beating Goku, but later on lost to Vegeta when he became SSJ God. Naruto, hearing this story, could only like it, the amazing power forming in front of him. There was a great flash of light. Naruto shielded his eyes. When he opened them, there stand a golden Frieza was standing there with his legs spread apart, with his arms down and his legs spread apart, looking defiantly at Naruto. Frieza smirk, now let's turn this battle around a bit. Naruto shake his head, you think that power shakes me? Frieza, you're bluffing. The truth is Naruto was trembling. He dug his boots into the dirt to stop trembling. Frieza's power was overwhelming. Naruto couldn't possibly defeat Frieza. But that doesn't mean he won't try. Bam. Whoa. Frieza teleported behind Naruto and kicked him in the back of his head. Naruto staggered forward, then whipped around. Frieza was right there. As Naruto cocked back for a punch, his fist caught on something. But Frieza was still standing in front of him. Naruto turned around, it was Frieza. But how? Frieza too forced Naruto's arms behind his back. Naruto speak. Weakly? Why am I so weak? But that Frieza disappeared, leaving Lord Beerus standing where Frieza was, letting Naruto fall to the floor. You're weak because you lack something to make you strong. Naruto look up weakly and confused. Lord Beerus sigh and start to give an example. When I fought Goku and his friend, they all fought to save the earth. Frieza fight to be the strongest in the universe, so you can see you can only become strong if you have something to push you. Naruto nod his head, now knowing what he means by that. Now training, we will start to work on your Kai more since you're lacking in it the most. Seeing Frieza form, could I be able to get my own transformation? Naruto asked. After training I will see if I could give you one. Now let's begin your true training. After training in his mind, Naruto woke up, looking around his room, seeing Midori with tears in her eyes, while Shisui sat down with no emotions on his face. Naruto sensed something was wrong. What's wrong, guys? I got done talking to the Kazekage, told me that the Uchiha clan was wiped out by Itachi. Shisui said. Naruto looked somber at this and just grabbed his head in anger. Naruto jumped off his bed in a hurry, putting on his shoes. Come on guys, let's head it home. They both nodded and waiting to see the result of what Itachi did. Naruto quickly got pack and headed to the door with his 2 teammates behind him. It had been 4 days since getting the news of the Uchiha massacre. Every member of the team was speeding in the forest in a breakneck pace to return home without much of a word being said. Seeing the gates ahead, the team slowed down and walked through the gates after getting their passports. Look out. So an Anbu member appears out of nowhere in a smoke clouds. Aokai-sama, the Hokage in the council, request you for a meeting. Naruto look at his teammate and his teacher and give them a smile. Sorry guys, I have to go. Naruto then turn around, put 2 fingers on his forehead and disappear into the council room where everyone was already there. Naruto made his way to his sit and sat down, putting his poker face on. Minato stood up and coughed in his arm to get everyone's attentions. Now we all know about what happened to the Uchiha clan. Many of the clan heads nod their heads, letting Minato know they are listening. We now only have 2 loyal Uchiha left. We must think, what should we do now? We should make the girl a Brie, council member was about to say, but was cut off. Naruto. Never. I hope you remember that is my teammate you're talking about. Naruto yelled. So right now we at risk of losing one of the founding clans of this village. Another spoke up. Naruto laughed at them before pulling out a piece of paper, getting a lot of attention himself. Too bad, since me and Fugaku was known this may happen to his clan. Naruto said, looking at the Hokage with anger. Minato eyes with wide with shock hearing this. So we made allies that state that the clan head of the Takai clan will marry a woman of his choice in the Uchiha clan. The whole room went up in riot knowing where this is going. Minato, Hizuin and Danzo were wondering how did Fugaku know about Itachi mission. So let me guess, with this marriage with you and Midori she will be untouched. Hizuin said, thinking over the solution and smile over Naruto, quick thinking. I see no problem with it. With the power 2 bloodlines like this fuse, it could be an amazing combo. The half-wake Nara said, putting his head down back on the table, getting everyone to agree with what he said. Before everyone should start up yelling again, an Anbu member gave Minato a letter. I got a note from Shisui saying he will now be taking over a clan head for the Uchiha clan and he will be placed under CRA, just like Naruto is now. This meeting is over. Naruto sighed in happiness that he did this deal with Fugaku just in time. Leaving the room, Naruto headed to the Uchiha mansion, hoping they are doing okay. Boom, done with chapter 3. Now people can see this storyline is different, only Shisui and Midori is alive, that mean no Sasuke. The end. Darius. Hello, my name is Darius and I want you to please continue updating your story, it's getting better and better now that I can't wait till you update your story, but yeah, please continue to update your fan fiction, it's getting better and better now, so please continue to updating please and thank you. Thanks man, it's nice to know, since I thought this story wouldn't be that big. Don't worry, I am going to update this story at least every 2 weeks or one. SOL. Okay, I will tell you this, you need someone to read through this because it's getting really confusing, the grammar needs work and your story plot needs more work as well, it is a bit jumpy, it needs to be smoothed out so the story flows, you seem to be rushing into it. Create a list of subjects you want Naruto to go though before writing a new chapter, having a paragraph or more per subject, it's better to plan out what you want to happen in a new chapter, making sure that this new chapter flow with the previous chapter, just get someone to help with the grammar and smoothing it out. Yeah, I feel that this chapter is rush and jumping everywhere. Even through the next 4 will be slow pace and will flow. Naruto made his way to the gates of the Uchiha compound with a serious look on the genin face. He walks through the empty streets of the once powerful clan. Making his way to the main house, Naruto knocked on the door. Who is it? A female voice said from inside the house, running up to the door. Midori, it's me, Naruto. The clan head said. A few seconds later the door opened wide enough to let him in. Naruto walked in and hugged Midori, seeing the state of his teammate was in. She then led him into the living room where Shisui was looking over some paperwork. Sensei, does you got a second to speak? Naruto said. Shisui nodded his head in motion for Naruto to sit down. Naruto gave a bow to him and sit right in front of Shisui. Naruto turned toward Midori, who was standing at the doorway. Midori, if you don't mind, may I speak to Shisui in private? She walks away, moving back into one of the room down the hall. Now Naruto, what is this about? Sensei, I just came back from the meeting with the council, and with you two being the last loyal Uchiha. They wish for you to join us as the clan head for the Uchiha clan, though you have to do something for them. Shisui thought about it, knowing something like this may happen, but remember something more important. CRA, right? Naruto nodded. Yes, they wanted you to be put on CRA just like me. He said to Shisui, laughing at his face expression when he told him. So Shisui snapped out of it, standing up. What about Midori? Naruto sighed. They was trying to turn her into a breed stock. Shisui quickly with a hand sign, but Naruto dashed forward, holding his hands back. Naruto, let me go now. No. I am done with what I am saying. You said they was trying to turn her into a breed stock. Nothing anymore, I took care of that problem. Shisui calmed down hearing that, but had a mad look on his face with his Sharingan spinning wildly. Naruto, seeing this, took out a piece of paper, handing it to Shisui. He grabbed paper, looking over what it was about, reading it, he stared at Naruto with a shocked face. Did you and Fugaku really made this? Yes, he had a feeling will happen soon, and this is his backup plan if the coup d'etat don't work. Shisui stared at Naruto, shocked of how he knowing about the Uchiha coup before it even happened. Did Fugaku tell you? No, well, I was talking to him, I saw his hated for how the clan is being treated. Naruto said, looking around the house. So you saw right through him, I am impressed that you was able to do it. Shisui gave a quick smile at the fact that a 12-year-old boy was able to see what many don't. Call down Midori for the next part, I need to get her down here. Naruto said, grabbing the people again, putting it in his pocket. Shisui called Midori down, waiting for her to come downstairs. A few minutes later she came down with a sad look on her face. Naruto stood up and walked toward her while Shisui stayed sitting down to watch. Midori, you may not want to hear or see this right now. Naruto gave the sheet of paper to her, not wanting his voice to fail him. Midori looked it over before throwing it on the ground with rage, grabbing on to Naruto. Is this what I am to you? After seeing I am the last of my clan just for you to tell me that I am being giving away? Midori yelled with tears rolling down her face. It's been the only way. No, it was not. I know you, Naruto, you would been able to fight this. Some things you just can't fight, Midori. Why did you pick this? Midori, as Naruto, who was looking at her, confused a little by her words. You, this marriage thing, you damn well know what I am talking about. Her eyes then transform into the Sharingan with now 3 tomes in each eye. Both Naruto and Shisui look shocked at it, while Midori don't even notice it herself. Naruto sigh and lower Midori hand from his shirt and hug her, because even if you don't know it, but after these past 3 months I have fallen in love with you, and there is no way I will let the councils turn you into a breeding stock. Midori eyes with wide with the passion that Naruto put in words, she pushing Naruto away, dashing upstairs where she first came from. Naruto, I think she need time to think about this. Shisui said with a monotone, feeling sad about the things his teams have to go though. Naruto look at him and just smile nicely and start to head to the door. Sensei, I will give her 2 weeks to make up her mind, if she love me or not, I will protect her, even if I have to fight the whole council body. He said, closing the door behind him, walking away from this empty place. Well then that went great if you ask me. Naruto smiled a little hearing his mentor voice after so long. I could have been worse, but anyways anything you found about the transformation? I think so if I unlock your potential. Okay this what are you talking about unlock thing? Naruto said waving to the people in the streets he walks by. Well first off it's a technique that releases an unknown amount of hidden power within a person. When a guardian of a plant kami or guru do it, it's give the person a 4x boost, if a Kai Supreme Kai do it, it's became 8x, but if a god of destruction do it will release of our own godly power into a being making them gain a 10x boost to power. Ira said taking a break after explaining it to Naruto. Naruto finally made it in his house and sat down on his couch shocked at the power up he could get. Now what about the item? He said out loud not thinking no one is inside with him. Naruto nodded at this and hop up walking into his bathroom looking at himself in a mirror. Let's do the unlock thing the first chance we get out the village. Ira seeing reason gave him a quick groan and went back to work for what's going to happen tonight. Okay ask your Hokage to let you out the village for the week since you got the 2 weeks break from the team. Naruto put on a white shirt and black pants with white combat shoes and headed out the door to the Hokage's mansion. As Naruto make his way to the front desk, he stop and knock on the desk getting the woman attentions. She gave Naruto a wide smile hello Takai-san, what may I help you with? I would like to speak with the Hokage about a matter that I am having. Naruto said with a smile on his face. He took a second to look at the woman in front of him, she was a very tall, slender woman with long pink hair past her waist, with locks of hair that frame her face down to her chin, large breasts that seem to be C-cup, a high forehead, and light green eyes that have long, voluminous lashes. She has a narrow waist that makes her almost built like an Hercules. She wears a white kipao dress with 3 red circular designs at the bottom of the front of her dress, as well as the back. Underneath the dress, she wears pink 3/4 length pants along with brown sandals. Smiling to himself he see the woman was done with her phone call with the Hokage and lean into the desk. May I ask what did he say? He said looking into her eyes with a charming smile, making the woman blush a little. He said gives him a minute to get ready. She looked down at her paperwork going back to writing things down, Naruto then grabbed her chin making her look at him. I never got your name though it must be something as beautiful as your appearances. Her face became red at the teasing she was getting. It's Mibukki Hurino Takai-san. Naruto waved her off getting inches away from her face. How about you just call me Naruto-kun? She began to rub her knees together, feeling a little wet from this treatment, not feeling this way for a while. Before Naruto could final attack on the woman in front of him but was stopped by footsteps coming downstairs. The Anbu with a mask and the codename Miko gave a slight dip of her head that caused her long purple hair to move with the flow of her motions. Takai-sama the Hokage has sent me down here to bring you to his office. She said waiting for Naruto. Naruto sigh a little mad that he can't finish. He turns to face Mibukki again and give her a large smile. Let's finish us up after I get done with my meeting. She nods at him rushing through her paperwork waiting for his return. Walking down the hall to the Hokage office was met in silence with Naruto with a huge grin on his face. He made his way in the office and his smiles completely dropped to a frown. Standing in the room was the Hokage and behind him was the Toad Sage and his wife Kushina. Looking to the side of the room he said Ryu Hyuga someone he thought he would never see again and his sister Mito. Did I come at the wrong time Hokage-sama? Naruto questioned seeing as he was not warned about this. Minato shook his head waving Naruto to sit down while the two stare at each other. So what may I help you with Naruto and? Minato asks with a smile on his face. I wish for a week training trip outside of the village. Shocking people in the room even the Anbu guards. Jiraiya quickly jumped to the punch speaking his opinions you can't just walk up at her. I wasn't talking to you Jiraiya. Naruto said cutting off Jiraiya before he could even finish his sentence. Kushina summoned her chains holding Jiraiya back from attacking Naruto. You're lucky she holding me back kid. No you should be grateful since you was about to assault a leaf ninja and also a clan head. Naruto said with anger in his voice having his Kai make a faint aura around him. Minato seeing Naruto anger going up, he quickly writes a permission to be out the village and headed to him. Naruto smiles at this and took the paper and headed for the door. Just to let you know Naruto not all your battles going to be easy like this one. Don't worry I know. With that he left the room leaving nothing but silences. Heading back to the front desk he noticed that Mibukki was already waiting for him at the door with a lust written on her face. Naruto frown became a smile approaching the woman grabbing her hand. Should we go to my place? She nodded and they both disappear from sight for the rest of the day. Since she is not that important it will not be Lemon and yes she is not in the harem just a sex friend. Naruto woke up sitting up in his bed to see a naked Mibukki lying beside him with a happy smile on her face. He got out of bed putting on his clothes and went to wake up Mibukki. She moans as she sat up looking at Naruto with sleepy eyes. What is it baby? She said hardly keeping her eyes open looking at him. I have to go, I need to leave for a mission. Oh okay, see you around. And with that she fell right back on the bed going back to her bliss sleep. Naruto laughs at it and grabs the scroll and opens his door and closes it behind him. He stops and thought to himself. Did you wear a condom? What's a condom? Ahahahahaha. All he heard was laughing from Beerus while he slowly walked toward the east gates. And I think I am going to do it, do you want me to? Lord Beerus, what's happened to me yesterday? Naruto thought to himself. When I was working on unlocking your potential, this is a side effect. Side effect? Yes, you becoming more, how can I say this, arrogant. Okay, never mind that, Lord Beerus, so where do you think my power level will be after the unlock thing? Naruto asks the god of destruction as he hand the papers to the guards at the gates who check them over before nodding at him. Your power level's around 16 million, so a 10x boost will put you to 24 million, which is around the same level as Cell Perfect form. He listened to his teacher while flying through trees, reaching the outskirts of the town of Tsuki, which was busy with people running back and forward, kids playing around in the streets. Okay, Lord Beerus, do it now, I am far enough from the village. Naruto waited, not hearing anything from Lord Beerus, before getting knocked off his feet by his Kai oozing off his body. His once purple aura started to change into a blood-red aura, taking over, shocking the ground where he lay. He let out a quick yell, shooting a beam of light where he was. He teleports away from there with the rest of the strength he got left and passes out on the cold hard ground. He slowly made his way to his feet after the long day rest he took from the unlocked potential. He looks around, seeing a huge rock. He raised his hand at it, shooting a weak Kai blast at it. It made contact and blow it up in a blast. This is amazing. He then start to power up, making his blood-red aura come out again, blasting everything 10 feet from him away. When you're done with your check, I need you to go back to that town you was just in. Naruto nod to himself and then power his Kai up again, dashing into the forests in the way he remembered the town. When he got there, he saw a 3-man group of 1 Jonin and 2 Genin who was causing mayhem around the city. He watched them go into a bar and start to order drinks and mess with the others. Seeing enough Naruto walk into the building and walk to their table, they all stop and look at Naruto, scanning him. Who is you, kid? One of the chunin said, taking a sip of the sake. He goes in front of him. No of your concern, weakling. Naruto said before going right back at staring at the leader. Watch out, Naruto, somehow I sense something strange about this person. Naruto eyes with wide, then with back to normal. The 1 chunin he call a weakling jump up and went to attack Naruto. Naruto moved to the side, kicking the man in the ribs, making him fall to his knees, holding himself in pain. His one friend declared to attack to revenge his friend, but Naruto snapped his eyes at him, charging up a Kai blast, slamming it in the dude's chest, blowing him up into nothing but ashes. The last Jonin who was looking at his teammates died with any mercy or last words. The man is a large muscle man, with dark eyes and black hair that spikes out at the back from underneath his bandana-styled forehead protector. He also has narrow cheeks and a thin nose. He wears the red Awagakure uniform, which has no sleeves, underneath his flak jacket. So how about you go screaming and I will let you live? Naruto said with a smirk on a Kai ball in his hand glowing bright red. The man laughed at Naruto, making him anger. He released a Kai blast at the Iwa Jonin and walk away. I wish he would had put a fine. Naruto suddenly pick up by his leg and toss into a nearby building, causing people inside to flee in fear. Naruto rise up and got into his fighting stance, walking for the man to appear. Soon the Jonin came from behind the smoke with a smirk, just as Naruto did early. How the hell did you survive? Naruto said, having his Kai cover his body, getting ready for the fight. Did you think they let me be a Jonin for no reason? My bloodline allows me to turn my skin into a black metal substance. So no matter what, you can't defeat me, kid. He laughed and dashed forward, Naruto throwing a punch at his chest. Naruto grabbed his hand and tossed the man in the air, groaning hard. The recovery and his whole body became pitch black, letting him fall to the ground faster, going for a drive kick at Naruto. He quickly rolled out the way of the kick that was soon in the ground from its impact. They both stood there looking at each other, laughing a little bit. Naruto Taukai. Fish, I agreed. The Iwa Jonin said with a smirk. Don't worry, I won't go easy on you anymore. Ishio raised an eyebrow at the blonde's words. Do you honestly think you can defeat me? Just because you beat 2 mid-level chunin don't mean you can match me. You not be around the same level of these 2 idiot, only difference is you think before you act. Naruto pointed out with a sardonic grin. It matters not, Ishio said with a nonchalant shrug. We have genin being made to this day, they can be replaced with your head. Yeah, I think I'm going to pass, Naruto replied. There was a small frown marring his face. The man's callousness towards his now deceased subordinates bothered the blonde. You see, I have honor as a leaf ninja to respect my friend. Then I suppose this conversation is over, Ishio said with a glare. It's time for you to come with me to Iwa then. He dashed forward. He was much faster than Naruto thought he would be. The pair soon began trading blows as they closed the distance between each other. Naruto launched several Kai punches towards Ishio who blocked those as he could. Ishio took a single step back before snapping his right leg up in a heel kick that would have caught Naruto in the chest had the blonde not managed to twist his torso out of the way. In retaliation, the head of the Taokai tried to grab the extended leg so he could break it at the joints, but his opponent hardened his leg, making it impossible. Leaning back ever so slightly, the foot missed Naruto's face by mere millimeters. Naruto then spun in a breakneck speed with a Kai blast hitting Ishio's side, making the man slide back from him. As Naruto came back up, he decided that he had enough of getting attacked and it was time to take the fight to Ishio. Naruto dashed out the broken building into the streets that had been empty with Ishio following from behind. He matched Naruto's speed running beside him, they both moved 5 feet away from each other. Ishio withdrew hand seals as Naruto watched him. Earth release rock pillar. He created some rock pillars that will protrude from the ground that was following Naruto. Naruto just in the air shooting Kai blasts at them, destroying them but leaving a small crater there. Naruto stopped and began to channel Kai into both of his hands. Double Sunday. Rises both of his arms up and charges 2 red energy spheres. He then brings his hands forward and fires the energy spheres in the form of 2 energy waves at him. He covers himself in metal again, letting the beams at the building behind him. How things are going, we going to destroy this town before one of us die. Ishio said, laughing, looking at the smoke rising in the air. Naruto just smiled and replied, well, don't worry about it since you will be the one dying. Ishio grit his teeth. That does it. I've had it up to here with you. Ishio shot forward, his speed having increased to the point where it looked like he had blurred out of existence. He appeared right before Naruto with a large smirk and sent his metal punch to the blonde's face, expecting him to fly. What he got was Naruto's image just faded. Eyes widening in surprise before Ishio knew what he was sent flying from a Kai punch to the back. Naruto jumped high in the air, charging Kai to a level where clouds start to break apart. This is the end. Naruto shouted as he puts his hands together in front of himself and charges a large red energy sphere. Then, he spreads his arms out at his sides, splitting the single sphere into 2 and finally throws his hands downward. Ishio saw him coming and tried to catch it with his body armor covering him. After struggling for a few seconds, the blast soon blew up, taking him out. Naruto landed back onto the ground with a sigh, looking at the damage the 2 did. Wow, Hokage-sama is not going to be happy about this. Naruto quickly walked out the town like nothing happened. While under the smoke, Ishio raised up with blood dripping all over his body, he withdrew hand sign and summoned a mole. He wrote down info about what just happened and gave it to it. Hey, you think I will let you win like that, Naruto? He falls on his back with a smile on his face. Out of nowhere a woman appeared in front of him, he groaned, raising his head up to look at her. She had an extremely long, sweeping red hair that touched the ground. With 2 horn-like protrusions which stuck out from her head, her eyebrows were cut very short, a symbol of nobility, and she wore a dark shade of lipstick on her lips and a dark shade of nail polish on her long fingernails. She wore the transitional black high-collared kimono, which was adorned with red intricate lines and tomo running down the center and edges of the gown. "WW, who the hell is you?" he said weakly at the woman who just stares at him with wonder. The unknown woman raised her hand at the man who looked confused at the red hair. "ACTIONS. Do you want revenge for what he did to you?" the red hair woman said in an emotionless tone. Ishio eyebrows with up before thinking it over, he pushed his way to his feet, breathing hard he grabbed the woman's hand. Soon their hands start to glow with making Ishio freak out a little, but stop after feeling himself get heal. On his forehead he gained 2 dots that was 2 inches away from each other. 4 days has passed since that big fight and now our hero of the book was heading home thinking about this week break. "Okay, we got nothing done this week," Naruto said with tears going down his eyes. "No shit, we got into a fight then you went off and played around the whole time," Mira said with a sweat drop as he took a bite of pudding. Naruto sighed, knowing it was right and the only thing he got done was getting his Kai control down. As the god of destruction and training reached the gates, he had his ninja ID checked by the guards and went on his way to the Uchiha mansion. "Don't you have to report to the Hokage?" "Nope, don't worry about it, I will just say I forgot." As he kept walking toward his location he was going. He soon reached the front gate and just jumped over it, hearing fighting from inside. The Kai user landed on a fence and saw Shisui teaching Midori a new technique. Midori withdrew her hand signs and creates a volley of small fireballs, which are sent flying at the dummies, burning them. Naruto clapped, gaining their attentions with a smile forming on his mouth. Someone has been training hard in this week. Naruto jumped off the fence walking toward them. Midori and Shisui look at each other before the new head of the Uchiha clan nod his head walking toward him. "Hello Naruto, where have you been this week? I have been looking all over for you," Shisui said with a small smile on his face. Naruto stared at Shisui for a second before he too started to smile. "I left the village for a week, had to take care of someone business." Had she made up her mind yet? Our young genin asks looking at Shisui for an answer. Shisui nodded Naruto and started to lead him over to her. They stare at each other not knowing what to say. Soon Midori broke the silence and bowed her head at Naruto. When I ran away from you after you told me you love me I don't know what to say, but now I do. Midori said with a soft smile. The genin kissed Naruto on the lips. Shocking Taukai, Shisui stood back with a pervert smirk on his face. Well, somebody is bold. Laughing at his own joke. Before the two can continue on, 3 Anbu members appeared around the two. Taukai-sama, the Hokage wishes for you to come meet him in his office right now. If you do resist it we do have permission to drag you in. The Anbu with a dog mask said with the other reaching for their Tantmer katana. Naruto let go of Midori and watched forward toward them with an angry look. Okay, here I come, but I just want to tell you all something. The Anbu perked up waiting for Naruto to finish, but was met with getting blew back by Naruto, pushing out a small amount of Kai. I won't be so nice with that threat of yours. After that the angry clan leader left the area going to the Hokage mansion. Leaving Shisui and Midori there were watching the whole thing staring in shock. Shisui-sensei, what's happening to Naruto-kun? Said the confused female genin. Shisui just looked forward with a frown on his face. I don't know Midori, but I feel something big is going to happen again. And I hope we are ready for it. As Naruto enters the mansion he said Mibuyuki at the desk checking papers for a man who making jokes before going to sit down. Naruto walked forward and they both look at each other and smile. Naruto looked down and noticed the ring she had on. I see you're getting married. He said teasing her. She blushed lightly holding her hand up and show him. Well, news been going around about you and the Uchiha girl. Naruto laughed rubbing the back of his head with her statement. Well then I guess you're right, but remember he will never be as great as me. Walking away from the desk happy about getting the last word he heading upstairs to Minato office, he know 2 times before going in. You call for me Hokage-sama. Naruto said sitting down in the chair getting comfortable in it. Minato just put up a book next to him and flips through it and gave it to Naruto. He grabs the book from Minato and started to read it out long. Name? Naruto Taukai. Current rank? Genin. Threat level? A rank, engage with caution. Naruto skipped a part featuring his physical details and focused on his description. Description. Naruto Taukai has unknown bloodline that never been seen before. His skill in Taijutsu and his prodigious usage of his bloodline allowed him to survive an encounter with Greed, a rank jonin from Iowa, and destroy half of a town in a battle with him. Engage this shinobi with caution. Alias. Destruction Prince. Naruto heard Beerus in his mind laughing bingo. Ha 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 ha. Now Naruto, what the hell is this? Minato yelled with killer instinct flowing off him with anger. You leave the village for one fucking week and almost destroy a whole town. The Destruction Prince sat there unfazed by Minato anger and just sighed to himself. Thinking of what he can say to Minato, but a great idea came to mind. Don't say it, that's the dumbest thing I ever will see or hear. Too late. Hokage-sama, it was Iowa's fault they attacked me first because they said I look like you and they don't want to risk another yellow flash to appeared. Naruto said with a grin on his face, knowing that this going to work whole Beerus was just floating around his mind dazing off to sleep. The 4th Hokage calmed down after hearing that and went back into his sit nodding his head at that. I understand a little, but please next time try not to destroy a town just to beat one person. Naruto just sweat drop at that and look at Minato with a blank face. Okay, got you boss, can I go now? One more thing, you got 4 months until the chunin exams. Where is it? The village hidden in the clouds. What if Naruto becomes god of destruction in chunin exams? And thanks for watching my video till the end. If you enjoy this content then do consider subscribing to my channel and leave a like if you guys need the next part, comment down, and thanks for watching the video and see you guys next video.